Thank you for choosing a Steico Industries antenna system. Mobile two-way radio systems rely on a number of factors to achieve maximum performance. The quality of the components, the integration of those components into a system, and proper installation. This video will demonstrate one of the critical installation issues, proper grounding. When you first open the antenna kit, you'll find a number of components. One thing you won't find, however, is a part called ground. Yet the ground has been designed into the system with more care than many of the hardware components. So it is critical for reliability and performance that the antenna is grounded exactly where the designer intended it to be. Steico fender mount models must be grounded at the point where the antenna base passes through the body of the vehicle. This ground point creates a correct antenna length which places the signal above the sheet metal. It also maintains the proper impedance necessary for an acceptable standing wave ratio, or SWR. Some antennas are attached with metal teeth on the bottom and are secured to the fender with a hardware nut. This compression-type mount creates a proper ground, provided certain steps are taken during installation, and the same would hold true for the NMO base. Other antennas are mounted with screws that pass through the base into the sheet metal. This installation creates a positive mechanical contact with the fender, again providing for proper ground. A third mounting system has a dielectric passing through the fender, isolating the base of the antenna. This isolation causes the ground point to be below the fender on the vehicle's frame. While pass-through mounts are fine for AM/FM receive-only radios, they cannot be depended on for proper operation of a two-way radio system. If the antenna is not properly grounded to the fender, you may hear unwanted vehicle noise in the receiver. Some of the RF energy may be transmitted under the fender, thus significantly reducing the range. The signal suffers from high reflective power and poor standing wave ratio, and you may experience strange operating effects such as poor reception, interference with vehicle electronics, surveillance equipment problems, or complete failure of the two-way radio. Again, factory or OEM installed antennas were not designed to transmit and receive signals generated by two-way radios. Steico antennas, on the other hand, are specifically designed to achieve maximum range from your two-way radio. To accomplish this, Steico antennas must be grounded at the point where the antenna meets the fender. Compression and positive mechanical systems are very reliable, but they should still be checked during the installation to make sure they are properly grounded. To install the Steico enhanced grounding system for pass-through mounts, first remove the antenna base, bezel, and rubber grommet from the fender. On the underside of the fender, remove all debris and use a wire wheel or coarse sandpaper or emery paper to remove the rust and paint so the bare metal is exposed. A packet of silicone grease is supplied with the antenna kit. A thin film is applied to the bare metal to prevent rust and corrosion. Next, install the rubber grommet and bezel. Install the base into the grommet and secure the bracket. Because the dielectric is isolated from the base, you must force a ground connection at the point where the base meets the fender. Monel wire mesh material is used for this purpose. Monel is a sponge material with a metallic cover. Wrap the Monel completely around the base and grommet so the grounding material is pressed tightly against the underside of the fender. Your second wrap will be between the first wrap and that fender. Secure the grounding material to the base with the supplied plastic tie wrap. Next, test the system to make sure you have proper ground. Insert a wattmeter into the signal path and evaluate the signal strength in both directions. The ratio of the signal to reflected power indicates the SWR. Steico antenna systems are designed to operate at an SWR of 2:1 or less. As this network analyzer readout indicates, the SWR in a properly grounded antenna system should be 2:1 or better within the operating frequency range. By contrast, this is what an improperly grounded antenna system might look like on a wattmeter. Note that the ratio of signal to reflected power is well below the ideal 2:1 ratio. Unless this condition is corrected, the radio may not operate at maximum efficiency and may fail altogether. Let's review the main points of this video. In order for two-way radios to function at maximum efficiency, proper grounding is essential. Improper grounds can cause a number of problems, including a complete failure of two-way radios. While compression and positive mechanical mounts can provide adequate ground, pass-through systems need additional attention. Finally, test the system using a watt meter or network analyzer to ensure that the installation results in an SWR of 2 to 1 or better. Thank you again for choosing a Steico Industries antenna system and for taking the time to view this installation demonstration.